The Nutcracker's Heart. A werewolf romance story. Opening. Hello, my beautiful dreamers. This is Luna, and welcome back to Luna's Romance Audiobooks, where love comes in the most unexpected forms, and devotion to the impossible can change destiny itself. Tonight, I have a story that will enchant you, break your heart, and put it back together again. A tale of a girl who loved a wooden soldier for 7 long years. A curse that tested the very meaning of devotion, and the moment when everyone who laughed learned the truth. Imagine being the strange one, the girl who talks to a toy like it's alive, who tells her deepest secrets to carved wood and painted eyes, who loves something everyone says can't possibly love her back, who endures mockery, isolation, and cruelty, all for a nutcracker. Now imagine discovering that every word you spoke he heard, every tear you shed he felt, every moment of devotion he treasured, that your love, your ridiculous, impossible, mocked love, was the only thing keeping him alive. So, settle in close, my dreamers. This is a story about patience and magic, about loving what seems foolish, and about discovering that sometimes the most ridiculed devotion is the truest love of all. This is The Nutcracker's Heart. Prologue. The Gift. The snow was falling the night my godmother gave me the nutcracker. I was 10 years old, small for my age, with auburn hair that never stayed braided, and green eyes that my mother used to say were too curious for an omega. My mother was gone by then, died giving birth to my stillborn brother when I was 8. My father followed her 6 months later. Some said from grief, others said from the winter sickness that swept through our pack. I lived with my godmother after that, Drusilla, a strange woman who collected odd things and spoke in riddles and always smelled faintly of sage and moonflower. "Happy birthday, Clara," she said, handing me a wrapped package. The other pack children had gathered for my birthday celebration, not because they liked me, but because Omega celebrations meant extra food and their parents made them attend. I unwrapped the package carefully, aware of their watching eyes. Inside was a nutcracker, a foot tall, carved from dark wood, painted in the uniform of a soldier. Red coat with brass buttons, black boots, a tall hat, and eyes, amber eyes that seemed to catch the firelight and glow. "A toy?" Marcus, the Alpha's son, sneered. "That's a baby's gift." "It's beautiful," I whispered, touching the smooth wood. "It's weird," another child said. "Like you." But I didn't care, because when I looked into those amber eyes, I felt something. A connection. A recognition. Like the nutcracker was looking back at me. "He's special, Clara," my godmother said, ignoring the other children. "Very special. Take care of him. Love him. Talk to him. He needs you more than you know." "It's a toy, godmother. Toys don't need anything." Her smile was mysterious. "Don't they? Perhaps you'll find out." That night, after the others left, making jokes about Clara and her boyfriend Nutcracker, I sat in my window seat, holding him. "I'm Clara," I said softly, feeling foolish. "I guess you're mine now. Do you have a name?" Silence, of course. He was wood and paint. But his amber eyes seemed warm in the candlelight. Understanding somehow. "I'll call you Soldier, because of your uniform. Is that okay?" No answer. But I imagined he approved. "Everyone thinks you're a silly gift. Maybe they're right, but I don't care. You're mine, and I'm going to take care of you." I didn't know then that those words, that promise, would define the next 7 years of my life. I didn't know that inside the wooden form, a cursed prince named Nikolai heard every word, and that my simple declaration of ownership had given him the first spark of hope he'd felt in months. Chapter 1. The first year, age 10 to 11. Autumn, age 10. The mockery started immediately. Clara brought her toy to lessons. I clutched Soldier tighter, keeping him in my pocket. I'd tried leaving him at home, but I felt wrong without him. Empty. "Teacher, Clara's not paying attention. She's talking to her pocket." "Clara, pay attention," the teacher sighed. "And please leave toys at home." But I couldn't. Something about Soldier's presence calmed me, made the loneliness bearable. At home that night, I apologized to him, I'm sorry they made fun of us today. I tried to hide you, but it didn't work. I brushed dust off his uniform. Do you mind that I carry you everywhere? I know it's strange, but you're my friend. My only friend, really. I examined his face in the candlelight. The artist who'd carved him had been skilled, every detail perfect. The stern expression, the strong jaw, the amber eyes that seemed almost alive. You have kind eyes, I told him, even though your face is serious. I bet if you were real, you'd be kind. That night, I dreamed of a young man with dark hair and amber eyes, reaching for me but unable to speak. I woke crying, though I didn't know why. Winter, age 10. My wolf emerged early on the winter solstice. Most wolf children shifted for the first time at 11 or 12, but mine came at 10 during a particularly harsh snowstorm. The shift was painful, bones breaking and reforming, fur sprouting, senses overwhelming. When it was over, I stood on 4 legs, looking at my reflection in the icy window. Small, auburn-furred, clearly Omega. The pack gathered to celebrate, as was traditional, but I heard the whispers. So small. Weak Omega wolf. At least she shifted. Though what good is an Omega? I shifted back, disappointed in myself. That night I cried into Soldier's painted shoulder. I'm sorry I'm not stronger. Not Alpha or Beta. Just Omega. Just weak. My tears stained his red coat. Everyone's disappointed. Even Godmother, though she won't say it. But holding him made it hurt less. His solid presence. His unchanging face. My wolf likes you, I whispered. When I shifted, the first thing she wanted was to find you. Isn't that strange? She should want a real mate someday, but she purred when I held you in her mouth. I felt crazy talking to a toy, but I couldn't stop. Maybe we're both broken. You're stuck as wood, I'm stuck as Omega. But at least we have each other. Spring, age 11. Marcus and his friends escalated their bullying. Omega Clara, still carrying her Nutcracker boyfriend. Does he tell you secrets, Clara? Does he love you back? She's insane, talking to wood like it's alive. One day Marcus grabbed Soldier from my hands. Let's see what's so special about this toy. Give him back! I lunged for Soldier, desperate. Marcus held him high, laughing. Make me, Omega! He threw Soldier across the yard. I heard the crack as he hit the ground. I ran to him, sobbing, checking for damage. A chip in his paint. A small crack in one arm. You hurt him. It's wood, Clara. It can't be hurt. But looking at the damage, I felt like I'd been hurt. Like someone had wounded something precious. That night, I carefully painted over the chip, using colors from Godmother's art supplies. Fixed the crack with glue and hope. I'm sorry, I whispered. I should have held you tighter. I won't let them hurt you again. I kissed his painted forehead, a gesture of comfort, of apology. For just a moment the wood felt warm under my lips. I pulled back, startled. But no, I'd imagined it. He was cold wood again. Summer, age 11. Godmother found me in the garden, talking to Soldier as usual. Do you judge me? I asked her. For loving a toy? Love is never something to judge, child. She sat beside me. Tell me, why do you love him? Because he listens. He doesn't mock me or call me weak. He doesn't care that I'm Omega. He's just there. Always there. And if he could speak, what do you think he'd say? I thought about it. I think he'd tell me I'm not weak. That being Omega doesn't mean being worthless. That I matter. Godmother's eyes glistened with tears. You're wiser than you know, Clara. Keep loving him. Keep talking to him. It matters more than you can imagine. Why? Because some loves transcend understanding. Some devotions break curses. Some faith moves mountains. She touched Soldier's painted face gently. And some wooden soldiers are more than they appear. Is he magic? All love is magic, child. The question is, do you believe in it enough to sustain it? I didn't understand then, but I nodded. I'll love him forever, even if everyone thinks I'm crazy. Then you're not crazy. You're brave. Chapter 2. The Middle Years. Age 12 to 14. Age 12. The loss. Godmother's illness came suddenly. One day she was teaching me herbs, the next she was bedridden, fevered, fading. I stayed by her side for weeks, soldier always in my pocket. Tell me about him, she whispered one night, delirious. Your Nutcracker. He's just a toy, Godmother. Humor a dying woman. So, I told her, about carrying him everywhere, about talking to him every night, about the comfort his presence brought, about how the other wolves mocked me, but I didn't care. You love him, she said, not a question. I love what he represents. Constancy, acceptance, someone who's mine. That's not loving what he represents. That's loving him. She grabbed my hand with surprising strength. Clara, listen carefully. Keep loving him, no matter what anyone says, no matter how hard it gets. Promise me. I promise, but 7 years. You must love him for 7 years. Can you do that? 7 years, but promise me. She coughed, blood on her lips. Promise you'll never give up on him, never abandon him, never stop believing. I promise, Godmother. She smiled, peaceful. Good girl, he's lucky to have you. Luckier than he knows. She died that night. I was truly alone then, at 12 years old. No parents, no godmother. Just a pack that tolerated me, and a wooden soldier they mocked. The pack elders decided I'd stay in Godmother's cottage, working as a seamstress to earn my keep. You're old enough to support yourself, they said, and Omega enough that we won't waste resources on you. I didn't argue. The cottage was mine, and it was full of Godmother's things, books, herbs, memories. And it was where I could talk to Soldier without judgment. It's just us now, I told him that first night alone. Is that okay? Do you mind being stuck with just me? His amber eyes seemed sympathetic in the candlelight. Godmother said I have to love you for 7 years. I don't know why, but I promised. So even when you're worn and faded and everyone still mocks me, I'll keep you. I'll keep loving you. I fell asleep with him clutched to my chest, his solid presence the only comfort I had. Age 13, the isolation. At 13, I was expected to socialize with other young wolves, find friends, begin thinking about future mates. But I was the strange Omega who talked to a Nutcracker. No one wanted to befriend that. Clara's having a conversation with her pocket again. Someone should tell her toys can't talk back. She's going to end up unmated and alone. Who'd want someone that crazy? I pretended not to hear, pretended it didn't hurt. But at night, I told Soldier everything. They think I'm crazy. Maybe they're right. Normal girls don't love wooden soldiers, don't talk to toys, don't carry them everywhere like they're alive. I traced the painted details of his face, but you feel alive to me. Is that insane? You never change, never age, never respond. But somehow I feel like you understand, like you're listening. I laughed bitterly. I'm definitely crazy. 12-year-old Clara was crazy. 13-year-old Clara is certifiable. But I couldn't stop, because Soldier was the only constant in my life. The only thing that didn't change, didn't judge, didn't leave. 4 more years, I whispered. Godmother said 7. We're 2 in. I can last 4 more years. For you. For whatever reason, she thought it mattered. Age 14. The changes at 14, I started noticing things. Soldier's paint seemed fresher than it should be, his uniform brighter, his amber eyes more vivid. Am I imagining it? I asked him one night, studying him in the lamplight. Or are you different? No answer, obviously, but the changes were real. I pulled out Godmother's books, volumes on magic, curses, transformations that I'd never paid attention to before. Curses that turn princes into beasts, I read aloud. Spells that trap souls in objects. Transformations that can only be broken by true love. I looked at Soldier. Is that what you are? Someone cursed? Trapped in wood? My heart raced. If you can hear me, give me a sign, please. Nothing. Just wood and paint and amber eyes. But that night I dreamed again. The young man with dark hair and amber eyes. This time he spoke. Keep loving me. Please. It's the only thing keeping me sane. I woke with tears on my face and Soldier clutched in my arms. I'll keep loving you, I promised. Whether you're cursed or just a toy, whether you can hear me or not, I'll keep my promise to Godmother. I kissed his forehead, as I did every night now, and this time I was certain. He was warm. For just a second, warmer than wood should be. Chapter 3. The Awakening, age 15 to 16. Age 15, the research. I spent my 15th year buried in Godmother's books. Every spare moment between sewing commissions, I studied curses, transformations, breaking spells. There are patterns, I told Soldier, surrounded by open books. Most curses require true love, sustained devotion, sacrifice. I read him passages about princes turned into beasts, girls transformed into swans, lovers separated by magic. They all have time limits. 7 years, 7 months, 7 days. 7 is always significant. I looked at him. Godmother said 7 years. We're at 5 now. 2 more to go. But what happened at 7 years? Would the curse break? Would he transform? Or would nothing happen? And I'd realize I'd wasted 7 years talking to an inanimate object? I don't care, I decided. Even if you're just a toy. Even if I've been crazy this whole time. You've been my friend, my companion, my comfort. That's not wasted. I started trying to break curses. Different methods from the books. I kissed him every night, forehead, cheeks, painted lips. I spoke words of love, of devotion, of promise. I held him under full moons, hoping lunar magic would help. Nothing worked. Maybe I'm not enough, I said one night, crying. Maybe whoever you are, my love isn't strong enough. I'm just an Omega, just Clara, nothing special. But I kept trying, because giving up felt like betraying him. Age 15. The confession. On my 15th birthday, alone in the cottage, I did something I'd never done before. I dressed Soldier in a new uniform I'd sewn, matching his painted one, but real fabric, real buttons. I made this for you, I said, carefully dressing the wooden form. I know you can't wear it, not really, but I wanted you to have it. Then I baked a small cake, just enough for one, and set him at the table across from me. Happy birthday to me, I said, raising a cup of tea to him. Thank you for being here, for being the only one who stayed. I felt ridiculous, pathetic. A 15-year-old girl celebrating her birthday with a wooden toy. But I didn't stop. I need to tell you something, I said to his painted face. Something I've never said out loud. I took a breath. I love you, not just as a friend or a comfort. I love you the way people love their mates. I know that's insane. You're wood. You're not real. You can't love me back. But I can't help it. Tears fell. Everyone's right. I am crazy. What kind of person falls in love with a nutcracker? But I did. I have. And I don't know how to stop. I kissed him then. Really kissed him, like I'd kiss a real mate. On his painted lips, desperately hoping for some response. For a moment, one impossible moment, I felt warmth. Felt lips kissing back. Felt a pulse of magic. Then nothing. Just cold wood again. I'm losing my mind, I whispered. But I'd rather love you and be crazy than give up on you and be sane. Age 16. The pressure. At 16, the pack elders decided I needed to mate. You're old enough now. Time to find a suitable match. I'm not interested. You're Omega. You don't get to be interested. You accept who wants you." They arranged a gathering, unmated males from our pack and neighboring territories, all looking for Omega mates. I was expected to attend, expected to be chosen, expected to be grateful for whoever wanted me. "I don't want to go," I told Soldier the night before. "I don't want any of them. I only want you." I knew how pathetic that sounded, wanting a wooden soldier over real wolves. But it was true. Tomorrow I have to smile and let them examine me like property. Have to pretend I'm honored by their attention. Have to accept that my life is being decided by someone else. I held him close. "But tonight, I'm yours. Just yours. Can that be enough?" The gathering was as awful as I'd feared. Males circling, evaluating, dismissing. Too small. Too strange. I heard she talks to toys. Omega's an Omega, but that one's damaged. One alpha, Garrett, from a neighboring pack, grabbed my arm. "I'll take her. She's odd, but I can fix that." "I'm not interested," I said. "Don't care. You're coming with me." I pulled Soldier from my pocket. I'd brought him for courage, and held him between us like a talisman. "I'm already spoken for." Garrett laughed. "By a toy? You really are insane." But I meant it. I'd rather die unmated than betray him. "Your toy?" "My heart." I looked at Soldier's painted face. He's been more faithful than any of you, more constant, more true. So yes, I choose him over anyone here. The gathering erupted in mockery. I fled, carrying Soldier, ignoring their laughter. That night I held him and cried. "One more year. Godmother said 7. We're at 6. Just one more year. Can you hold on? Can I?" I kissed him desperately. "Please be real. Please let this mean something. I can't have done all this for nothing." Still no response. Just wood. But I felt it. A pulse of warmth, of recognition, of something. "I'll keep believing," I promised. "Even if I'm wrong. Even if you're just a toy. I'll keep loving you." Chapter 4. The 7th year. Age 17. Early spring. Age 17. My 17th birthday arrived with spring flowers and new pressure from the pack. Clara needs to mate. She's too old to be unmated. But she's so strange. Who'll take her? Someone will. Omegas always get claimed eventually. Another gathering was scheduled. Mandatory this time. "You will attend. You will accept whoever shows interest. This is your last chance, Clara." I didn't argue. Didn't explain that I was already promised to a wooden soldier who might be cursed, and might be nothing. Instead, I spent my days preparing. I sewed Soldier a new coat. Red wool, real brass buttons exactly matching his painted uniform. 7 years, I told him as I worked. Tomorrow marks exactly 7 years since Godmother gave you to me. Since I promised to love you. My hands shook. I don't know what's supposed to happen. Maybe nothing. Maybe I've been fool. But I kept my promise. I loved you for 7 years. Through mockery, through loneliness, through everything. I dressed him in the new coat carefully. "You look handsome. If you were real, you'd be the most handsome wolf in the territory." I held him close. "Tomorrow's the gathering. They'll make me choose someone. But tonight you're mine. My soldier. My love. My heart." I kissed him one last time. Not desperately, but tenderly. Completely. With 7 years of devotion behind it. I love you. Whether you're a prince or a toy. Whether you can hear me or not. Whether this breaks a curse or means nothing, I love you. That night, I dreamed more vividly than ever. The young man with amber eyes, now close enough to touch. He was dressed in a red uniform matching Soldier's, and he was speaking. 7 years, Clara. You did it. You loved me for 7 years. Now, please, just one more day. One more moment. Hold on." I woke with tears streaming and Soldier in my arms. "Was that you? Was that real?" No answer. But his amber eyes seemed brighter than ever. The gathering's tonight. If nothing happens, if you're still wood by sunset, I'll know. I'll know this was all in my head. But I'll still love you. I promise. The gathering. Evening. I dressed carefully, not to impress the males, but to honor Soldier. I wore a dress I'd sewn myself, red, matching his coat. I braided my auburn hair. I put on the only jewelry I owned, my mother's silver locket, and I tucked Soldier into a special pocket over my heart. Whatever happens tonight, you're with me, I whispered. The gathering was held in the ceremonial grounds, hundreds of wolves from multiple territories. Music played, food was served, unmated wolves circled each other. And I stood alone, as always, one hand over the pocket containing Soldier. Garrett appeared, the alpha who'd wanted me last year. Still carrying that toy? Always. You're pathetic, but I'm desperate. I'll take you despite your insanity. No. You don't get to say no. I do. I have. I will. I pulled Soldier from my pocket. I'm already promised. To a Nutcracker? He grabbed for Soldier, trying to rip him away. I held tight, protecting him. Don't you dare! Garrett's grip was brutal. I felt Soldier's wooden arm starting to crack under the pressure. Let go, or I'll snap it in half. No! Something inside me broke. The thought of Soldier damaged, destroyed, after 7 years. You can't have him. He's mine. I've loved him for 7 years. I've been faithful for 7 years. He's more real than any of you. I yanked Soldier away with strength I didn't know I had. Garrett stumbled back, and Soldier fell from my hands, hitting the ground hard. I heard the crack, louder than it should be. Saw a fissure run through the wood from top to bottom. No. I dropped to my knees, reaching for him. No, please, I'm sorry. The fissure glowed. Golden light, like concentrated moonlight, spilled from the crack. Everyone stepped back, shielding their eyes. The light grew brighter, engulfing Soldier completely. The wood began to splinter, to break, to transform. And then, the light exploded outward, blinding. When it faded, Soldier was gone. In his place stood a man, tall, at least 6'4", with dark hair falling into those unmistakable amber eyes. He wore the red uniform I'd made for Soldier, but now it fit a human form. Real brass buttons, real sword at his hip. He was beautiful, devastating, clearly alpha. And he was looking at me with 7 years of love and longing and desperate relief. Clara, he said, his voice rough from disuse. Finally, finally. Then his eyes rolled back and he collapsed. I caught him, or tried to. He was too heavy. We both went down in a tangle of limbs and red fabric, but I held him, this impossible man who'd been my wooden soldier. Held him and cried and didn't care who was watching. You're real. You're real. You're real. Chapter 5. The Awakening. He didn't wake for 3 days. I refused to leave his side. The pack healers tried to examine him, but I wouldn't let anyone separate us. Who is he? Where did he come from? He just appeared out of nowhere. I didn't answer, just held his hand, real, warm, human, and waited. On the 3rd day, those amber eyes finally opened. He saw me immediately, focused on my face like I was the only thing in the world. Clara. My name was a prayer. You're really here. I'm here. You're here. I touched his face, needing to confirm he was real. You're human. Thanks to you. His hand covered mine, pressing it harder against his cheek. 7 years. You did it. You loved me for 7 years. Tears streamed down my face. You heard? All of it? You heard me? Every word, every secret, every declaration, every kiss. His voice broke. Every moment you talked to me, I listened. Every night you cried, I wished I could comfort you. Every time you were mocked, I wanted to defend you. How? How is this possible? He tried to sit up. I helped him, propping pillows behind him. It's a long story, he said. I have time. I've had 7 years. I can wait a little longer. His smile was soft, wondering. 7 years of your voice. 7 years of your love. And now I get to see you. Really see you. You're even more beautiful than I imagined. Tell me, I whispered. Tell me everything. He took a breath and began. My name is Nikolai Thorne. 7 years and 4 months ago, I was heir to the Frost Kingdom, a territory in the far north. I was 20 years old, arrogant, and about to become Alpha King. Your royalty? Was royalty. Now, he looked at his hands like they were foreign. Now I don't know what I am. Tell me what happened. My kingdom was attacked by a witch, Morgana Frost. She wanted our lands, our resources, our power. My father, the Alpha King, refused her demands, so she cursed me. Into a Nutcracker, into a wooden soldier, conscious but unable to move, speak, or respond. She said I'd stay that way until someone loved me truly, not for my title, not for my power, not for my looks, but for who I actually was. And that love had to last 7 years without any reward. 7 years of devotion to something that couldn't love them back. I stared. That's cruel. It was impossible. Or it should have been. Who loves a wooden toy for 7 years? Who pours their heart out to something that can't respond? Who stays faithful to wood and paint when they could have real companions? I did. You did. His hand cupped my face, thumb brushing my cheek. And you have no idea what that meant. Being trapped, aware but unable to respond. Conscious but frozen. Hearing your voice every day. Knowing someone cared. Someone loved me even when I was less than human. Where were you before? Before Godmother found you? A market. Morgana sold me to a merchant, amused by the idea of a cursed prince being hawked as a toy. I'd been there for months, displayed with other nutcrackers, able to hear but not respond. Then my godmother bought you. She wasn't just your godmother. She was a witch herself. A good one, not like Morgana. She knew what I was. Knew I needed someone special to break the curse. My breath caught. She knew? This whole time? She knew. And she chose you. Hoped that a child's innocent love might grow into something strong enough to break the curse. But it had to be real. Had to be sustained. Had to be you choosing me every single day for 7 full years. Why 7? Morgana's favorite number. 7 years cursed. 7 years to find someone who'd love me without reward. 7 years to test if true love really existed. His eyes held mine. You proved it does. When did you realize it was working? Year 5. When you started researching curses. When you kissed me and said you loved me even if I was just a toy. That's when I knew. This wasn't just a child's game anymore. This was real. I meant every word, every kiss, every promise. I know, I felt them. Each one weakened the curse a little more. But it needed 7 full years. 7 years of unwavering love. 7 years of choosing me despite mockery, despite loneliness, despite everything logical telling you to stop. He pulled me closer. You gave me that. You saved me, Clara. Saved my sanity, my soul, my life. So you're free now? From the curse, yes, but... His expression darkened. My kingdom still belongs to Morgana. My pack probably thinks I'm dead. My father, if he's even alive, believes he has no heir. I'm free, but I've lost everything else. Not everything. You have me. He stared at me. You'd stay with me? Even though I have nothing? No kingdom, no pack, no power? You're not nothing. You're Nikolai. You're the one who heard every secret. Who was there when no one else was? Who I love. I took his hand. Title or no title, you're mine. I chose you when you were wood. I'm not abandoning you now that you're human. His kiss was everything. 7 years of longing compressed into one perfect moment. When we parted, both breathless, he rested his forehead against mine. I've wanted to do that for so long. Every time you kissed my painted forehead, I wanted to kiss you back. Tell you I heard. That I loved you. That you were everything to me. You love me? Clara, I've loved you since you were 10 years old, crying because the pack was cruel. Loved you through every year, every moment, every word you spoke to me. You're not just the girl who broke my curse. You're my fated mate. My wolf surged forward, recognizing truth. Mates? The moment I saw you, even as a wooden soldier, my wolf knew. That's why the curse could only be broken by you specifically. Why your love worked when no one else's would. His eyes blazed gold. The moon goddess doesn't curse true mates to suffer. She tests them, makes sure the bond is strong enough for what comes after. What comes after? Reclaiming my kingdom, defeating Morgana, taking my place as Alpha King. His smile was fierce, and doing it with my Luna by my side. If you'll have me. I loved you when you were a toy. You think I'd say no now that you're a king? His laugh was pure joy. My practical mate, I love you. I love you too. Though I need to know, can I still call you soldier? It seems weird to switch to Nikolai after 7 years. You can call me anything you want. You earned that right 7 years ago. Chapter 6. The Recovery. Over the next 2 weeks, Nikolai recovered his strength. Being a wooden soldier for 7 years had left him weak. His wolf was there, but dormant. His body remembered how to be human, but needed time to adjust. And he needed to learn about me, not just the secrets I'd told him, but the reality of who I'd become. "Show me your wolf," he said one afternoon. "She's not impressive, small, auburn, clearly Omega." "I don't care about impressive. I want to see your wolf." I shifted, letting my small wolf form appear. Nikolai's breath caught. "Clara." "I know, she's tiny. She's glowing." He knelt beside me. "There's golden light coming from your fur. Can you see it?" I looked down at my paws. He was right. Faint golden luminescence pulsed through my auburn coat. "What is that?" "Curse magic. Residual from breaking the spell." He touched my fur gently. "When you freed me, you absorbed some of the curse's power. It's changed you. Made you something more than Omega." I shifted back. "More how?" "I don't know yet. But Clara, you're not just an Omega anymore. You're something the world hasn't seen in generations. Something powerful." "I don't feel powerful." "You loved a wooden soldier for 7 years. You're the most powerful person I know." The pack didn't know what to make of us. The strange Omega and the mysterious man who'd appeared from nowhere. Where did he come from? She says he was her Nutcracker, transformed by a curse. That's insane. She's finally lost her mind completely. But they saw how Nikolai looked at me. The devotion, the love, the absolute certainty that I was his. And they saw how I'd changed. The golden glow that sometimes pulsed through my wolf. The quiet confidence that came from knowing I'd been right all along. 7 years they mocked her, someone whispered. 7 years we called her crazy. And she was right the whole time. Garrett, the alpha who'd tried to claim me, tried to apologize. "Clara, I didn't know. If I'd realized..." "You didn't need to know. You just needed to not be cruel." I looked at him coldly. "You tried to break him, hurt him. After 7 years of devotion, you wanted to destroy the one thing I loved." "I'm sorry. I don't care." I turned away. "You had your chance to show kindness. You chose mockery. That's on you." Nikolai was proud. "You're not the timid Omega anymore." "I never was timid. Just unheard. But loving you taught me my voice matters. That my choices matter. That I don't need anyone's approval except my own. And mine. And yours. But you gave me approval 7 years ago. Just by listening." As Nikolai's strength returned, so did his wolf. The first time he shifted, the entire pack felt his power. massive, silver-furred with black markings, eyes that glowed amber even in wolf form. Alpha, undeniably, overwhelmingly alpha. "You're beautiful," I told him after his first shift. "You're biased." "Completely. Doesn't make it less true." He nuzzled against me, his wolf purring with satisfaction at finally being able to touch his mate properly. "My wolf remembers you," he said after shifting back. "Even in the curse, he knew. Knew you were ours. Knew we had to hold on because you were waiting." "Did it hurt? Being trapped?" "Yes, but your voice made it bearable. Every time you talked to me, it was like air, like sustenance, like proof I wasn't alone. You were never alone. I was always there." "I know. That's what saved me." Chapter 7. The Plan. 1 month after his transformation, Nikolai declared his intention. "We're going north, to the Frost Kingdom, to reclaim what's mine." The pack elders protested. "That's suicide. The witch is too powerful." "She cursed me for 7 years. Clara broke that curse. We can handle her." "The girl absorbed residual magic. That doesn't make her a warrior." "No, it makes her something better. Something Morgana won't expect." Nikolai's eyes blazed gold. "I'm taking my mate. We're reclaiming my kingdom. Anyone who wants to help is welcome. Anyone who doesn't can stay here." 3 wolves volunteered. Young ones, brave ones, who'd watched my 7-year devotion and respected it. "We'll follow you, Your Majesty," they said. "Don't call me that until I've earned it back." We prepared for 2 weeks. Gathering supplies, training, planning. Nikolai taught me to fight, not as a warrior, but as a wolf with magic in her veins. Your power responds to emotion, to need, to love. He guided my movements. When we face Morgana, don't think about fighting. Think about protecting what you love. You, us, the kingdom, the future we're building together. The night before we left, I returned to Godmother's cottage one last time. I found her journal hidden in a floorboard. Her final entry was addressed to me. "Clara, if you're reading this, you've broken the curse. 7 years of love. 7 years of devotion. I knew you could do it. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you the truth. But the curse required genuine love, freely given, without expectation of reward. If you'd known Nikolai was real, was hearing you, was cursed, it would have changed your motivation. You might have loved him to break the curse, not for himself. But you loved him anyway, every day, just for being him. That's the rarest, truest love. Inside this journal are spells, knowledge, power. You'll need them. The curse you broke gave you magic. Learn to use it. Protect your mate. Save the kingdom. I'm proud of you. Your mother would be proud. You proved that love, patient, devoted, ridiculous love, can change the world. With all my love, Drusilla inside the journal were spells, curses, and how to break them. Battle magic. Protection wards. She left me weapons, I told Nikolai. Magic. Knowledge. Then we're ready. He pulled me close. Tomorrow, we take back what's ours. Ours? You broke the curse. You saved me. That makes the kingdom as much yours as mine. His eyes were intense. I'm not going back as a lone king. I'm going back with my queen. I'm not queen material. You loved a wooden soldier for 7 years while everyone mocked you. You're exactly queen material. Chapter 8. The Journey. The journey north took 3 weeks. We traveled through territories I'd never seen, past packs who'd heard rumors of the Nutcracker prince returned. "Is it true?" wolves would ask. "You were cursed? Turned to wood?" "It's true," Nikolai would answer. "And she..." They'd look at me with awe. "She really loved you for 7 years, while you were a toy?" "She did. Never wavered, never doubted, never gave up." The story spread. By the time we reached Frost Kingdom borders, we had a following. Wolves who believed in true love. who wanted to see the witch defeated, who respected 7 years of devotion. "You're becoming legendary," Nikolai said one night. "I just loved you. That's all. That's everything." As we approached the Frost Kingdom, the devastation became clear. The land was dying, plants withered, animals scarce. The very air felt wrong. "Morgana's draining the territory to fuel her power," Nikolai said grimly. "She's killing my kingdom to maintain her magic. Then we stop her." We camped at the border, preparing for the final confrontation. "Are you scared?" I asked Nikolai that night. "Terrified. Not of Morgana, of losing you." His arms tightened around me. "I just got you. Got to touch you, kiss you, hold you. The thought of you in danger. We face it together. That's what mates do. I know, but if something happens to you, then I'll die knowing I saved my soldier. My king. My love." I touched his face. 7 years ago I chose you. I'm still choosing you. Every day. Every moment. Even knowing it might get you killed. Especially then. Because that's what love means. You risk everything. You sacrifice everything. You give everything. You already did that. 7 years of sacrifice. And I'd do it again. Forever. We completed our mate bond that night, marking each other, claiming each other fully. His bite sent pleasure through me like lightning. Mine on his throat made him growl with possession. When it was done, when the bond was complete, we lay tangled together under the stars. "Tomorrow we take back the kingdom," he said. "Tomorrow we show Morgana what 7 years of love can do." Chapter 9. The Battle. We entered the Frost Kingdom at dawn. Morgana was waiting, standing before the palace gates with an army of corrupted wolves, creatures she'd twisted with dark magic. "The Nutcracker Prince returns!" Her laugh echoed across the courtyard. "How delightful. And with his toy-loving mate. This will be entertaining." "Your curse failed, Morgana," Nikolai called. "I'm free, and I'm here to reclaim my kingdom." "You're here to die. You think because some Omega loved a wooden toy for a few years that you can defeat me?" 7 years, I corrected, stepping forward. "I loved him for 7 years. Every day, every moment. Through mockery and isolation and pain. That's not a few years. That's devotion that transcends curses." "How sweet. How useless." Morgana raised her hands, dark magic swirling. "Let's see if love can stop this." She attacked. The battle was brutal, savage, overwhelming. Her corrupted wolves were strong, vicious, controlled by her magic. Our small group fought valiantly, but we were outnumbered. Nikolai held his own, his alpha power finally fully restored. But Morgana was stronger than any of us expected. She threw magic like weapons, curses that burned, spells that paralyzed, dark energy that drained life itself. When one of her spells hit Nikolai, sending him crashing into the palace wall, I stopped thinking tactically. I just reacted. My wolf surged forward, that golden light blazing bright. I howled, not a normal wolf howl, but something else. Something that carried power. Magic. 7 years of love and devotion and patient faith compressed into pure sound. The effect was immediate and devastating. Morgana's magic shattered like glass. Her corrupted wolves collapsed, freed from her control. The very air cracked and rippled around her. "Impossible!" she screamed. "You're just an Omega. Just a girl who loved a toy." "I'm the Omega who broke your curse, who absorbed 7 years of your magic and transformed it into something pure, who loved a wooden soldier so completely that even you couldn't stop it." My voice, my wolf's voice, rang with power I didn't understand. "And now I'm taking that magic back." I howled again, and golden light exploded from my wolf form. It wasn't just light. It was concentrated love, devotion, faith. 7 years of emotions given physical form. The light struck Morgana like a physical blow, tearing through her defenses. She tried to fight back, throwing every spell she knew. But 7 years of curse magic, transformed by true love, was stronger than malice. Stronger than dark power. Stronger than anything she'd anticipated. The golden light consumed her. No! I had 7 years. 7 years to find someone who'd break your curse naturally, and I did everything to prevent it. I made sure no one would love you. You underestimated a 10-year-old Omega who chose love over logic, I said. That was your mistake. The light intensified until Morgana screamed. Then she was gone. Not dead, but banished. Sent back to whatever dark realm she'd come from. Her power broken. Her hold on the kingdom severed. The moment she vanished, the kingdom transformed. Color returned to the plants. Animals emerged from hiding. The corrupted wolves shifted back to their true forms, freed. And the wolves of the Frost Kingdom, those who'd been trapped under Morgana's rule, emerged from the palace, staring in awe. "Prince Nikolai," an elderly wolf said, stepping forward. "Is it really you?" "It's me, Chancellor." Nikolai stood despite his injuries, moving to my side. "I've returned, and I've brought my Luna." The elderly wolf looked at me, small, auburn-furred, glowing with golden light. The one who broke the curse? The one who loved me for 7 years, who saved me, who defeated Morgana. Nikolai's hand found mine. "My mate, your Luna Queen." I shifted back to human form, suddenly aware of hundreds of eyes on me. "I'm just Clara," I said. I don't know how to be a queen." "You loved impossibly for 7 years while everyone mocked you. You're exactly who this kingdom needs." The Chancellor bowed. "Welcome home, Your Majesty." One by one, the wolves of the Frost Kingdom bowed. To Nikolai, their returned prince. And to me, the Omega who'd done the impossible. Chapter 10. The Coronation. The coronation was held 1 month later, under the full moon. The kingdom had transformed in those weeks. With Morgana gone, the land healed rapidly. Wolves returned from hiding, families reunited, and everyone wanted to see the Omega Queen who'd loved a Nutcracker for 7 years. I stood in the royal chambers, wearing a gown of silver and red, matching Soldier's original uniform. "Nervous?" Nikolai asked, appearing behind me in his formal crown. "Terrified. What if I make a terrible queen? What if I fail? What if—" He turned me to face him. "You won't. Because you know something most rulers don't." "What?" "How to love without expecting anything in return. How to be patient. How to stay devoted even when it's difficult." His hands framed my face. "Those are the qualities of a great queen. Everything else you'll learn. Together? Always together." The ceremony was magnificent. Hundreds of wolves gathered, not just from the Frost Kingdom, but from territories across the north, all wanting to witness the coronation of the Nutcracker Prince and his devoted mate. The High Priestess performed the ancient rituals. "Nikolai Thorne, you were cursed to wood, lost to your kingdom for 7 years. Now you return, restored by true love, ready to lead. Do you accept the crown? I do. And Clara," the priestess turned to me, "you loved impossibly. Devoted yourself to what seemed foolish. Stayed faithful for 7 years. Do you accept the responsibility of Luna Queen?" My voice trembled, but held. "I do." "Then by the power of the Moon Goddess, I crown you Alpha King and Luna Queen of the Frost Kingdom. May your reign be as enduring as your love." The crowd erupted in cheers. Nikolai took my hand, and we faced our kingdom together. "Long live the Nutcracker King!" someone shouted. "Long live Queen Clara!" another voice added. The celebration lasted 3 days. Wolves from everywhere came to pay respects, to hear the story, to see the proof that true love could break any curse. "They're calling you the faithful queen," Nikolai told me during the feast. The one who loved when love seemed impossible. I was just doing what felt right. That's what makes you remarkable. You didn't love me for reward or recognition. You loved me because that's who you are. On the third night, alone finally in our chambers, Nikolai pulled out something I hadn't seen in weeks. The original Nutcracker. My soldier. Carefully preserved, the wooden form, now just an empty shell. You kept him? I asked, surprised. Of course. This was me for 7 years. Where you poured your heart. Where our story began. He placed it in my hands. I thought we could keep it. As a reminder. I held the wooden soldier, running my fingers over the familiar painted face. The stern expression. The amber eyes. The red coat I'd touched 10,000 times. 7 years, I whispered. 7 years I talked to you, cried to you, loved you. And I heard every word. Nikolai wrapped his arms around me from behind. I'll never forget those 7 years. The patience you showed, the faith you kept, the love you gave without expecting anything back. Do you think our children will believe the story? That I really loved a Nutcracker? Our children? I turned to face him, smiling. I'm pregnant. About 6 weeks. His joy was immediate, overwhelming. He spun me around, laughing. We're having a pup? We are, in about 7 months. 7. Always 7. He kissed me deeply. The moon goddess has a sense of humor. What will we tell the child? About how we met? The truth. That their mother loved a wooden soldier for 7 years. That everyone mocked her, but she never wavered. That her devotion broke a curse and saved a kingdom. His hand covered my still flat stomach. And that the ridiculous, impossible love everyone mocked became the greatest love story ever told. Epilogue, 10 years later. Mama, tell us the story again. I looked up from my sewing to find all 3 of our children gathered at my feet, twin boys of 8 and a daughter of 6. You've heard it 100 times. But we love it. Tell us how you and Papa fell in love. Nikolai appeared in the doorway, grinning. Yes, my love. Tell them how you fell for a wooden soldier. I rolled my eyes but smiled. Fine. Come here, all of you. They settled around me, looking up with rapt attention. Even after hearing it countless times, they never tired of the story. It started when I was 10 years old. My godmother gave me a very special birthday present. I told them everything. The 7 years of mockery, the conversations with a toy that everyone said couldn't hear me, the devotion that seemed insane, the moment the curse broke. And that's why you should never mock what others love, I concluded, because you never know. That love might be magic, that devotion might save kingdoms, that ridiculous faith might be the truest thing in the world. Do we really have the original Nutcracker? My daughter asked. We do, in the museum. Want to see it? We walked to the Palace Museum, a room dedicated to the kingdom's history. There, in a place of honor, stood the wooden Nutcracker, preserved behind glass, forever frozen in his painted stern expression. A plaque beneath read, "The Nutcracker Prince, cursed to wood for 7 years, freed by the unwavering love of Queen Clara. May all who see this remember, true love requires patience, faith, and devotion that transcends understanding." He looks like you, Papa, my son said. He was me. For 7 years that wooden soldier was all I was. And your mother loved it anyway. Talked to it every day. Never gave up on it. Were you scared? My daughter asked. Being trapped? Terrified. Until I heard your mother's voice. Then I had hope. Every day for 7 years, her voice gave me hope. The twins studied the Nutcracker intently. Will we have to love someone for 7 years? You'll have to love them for a lifetime, I said. But the 7 years taught me something important. That real love isn't convenient. It's patient. It's faithful even when faithfulness seems foolish. It's choosing someone every single day, not just when it's easy. We stood there together, my whole family, looking at the wooden soldier that had been the beginning of everything. Later that night, after the children were asleep, Nikolai and I returned to the museum alone. "Do you ever regret it?" he asked. "Those 7 years, the mockery, the isolation?" "Never. Not once." I leaned into him. "Those 7 years made us who we are. Taught me patience. Taught me faith. Taught me that love doesn't have to make sense to be real." "I watched you grow up," he said softly. "From that 10-year-old girl crying about being different to the woman who defeated a witch with pure love. I got to know you, really know you, before you knew me. That's a gift few mates get. Do you think there are others? Other people trapped in curses, waiting for someone to love them? Probably. The world is full of impossible situations. Then we should help them. Use my magic, your experience. Teach others that curses can be broken." His smile was proud. My compassionate queen, always thinking of others. I learned from my soldier. He waited 7 years for freedom. The least we can do is help others find theirs. We started a program, the Faithful Hearts Initiative, helping people trapped in curses, teaching others about the power of patient love, showing the world that devotion could break even the darkest magic. And every person we helped, I'd tell them the same thing. I loved a Nutcracker for 7 years while everyone mocked me. If that can break a curse, your love can too. Just be patient, be faithful, be devoted. Magic responds to love that refuses to give up. Years passed. Our children grew. The kingdom prospered. And in the museum, the wooden Nutcracker remained. A reminder of where we started. Of 7 years of impossible love. Of devotion that changed a kingdom. People came from across the territories to see it, to hear the story, to understand that true love requires sacrifice and patience and faith that transcends logic. The Nutcracker King and his faithful queen, they called us. But I still thought of him as my soldier, and he still called me his Clara, the girl who'd loved him when he was wood, who'd talked to him when everyone said she was crazy, who'd chosen him over every logical option. Everyone had mocked me for loving my Nutcracker, but every single one of them was bowing now. And somewhere I knew my godmother was smiling. She'd given me a cursed prince in the form of a wooden soldier, and I'd loved him into a king, not with magic or power or special abilities, just with love. 7 years of patient, devoted, unwavering love. The kind of love that changes kingdoms. The kind of love that breaks curses. The kind of love that proves, no matter how ridiculous it seems, faith and devotion can move mountains. I'd loved a Nutcracker for 7 years, and I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. Closing. And there you have it, my beautiful dreamers. The complete story of Clara and Nikolai, proof that patient love can break any curse. 7 years of devotion can change kingdoms, and the most mocked faith can be the truest magic of all. Did this story enchant you? Did you feel every year of Clara's devotion? Did you believe in the power of loving impossibly? Then show me some love. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which year touched you most deeply, and subscribe to Luna's romance audiobooks so you never miss another tale of transformative love. I want to know, could you have loved a Nutcracker for 7 years? Would you have kept faith when everyone called you crazy? Would you have chosen wood and paint over real wolves? Tell me in the comments. And speaking of impossible devotion, our next story is going to absolutely wreck you. It's called The Wolf Who Waited in Stone, and it follows a she-wolf who discovers a statue in the woods, a beautiful stone wolf who seems almost alive. She visits him every day, talks to him, cares for him. What she doesn't know is that he's been cursed for 50 years, and she's the first person to see him as anything more than stone. And when her devotion finally breaks his curse, she'll discover he's not just any wolf. He's the lost Alpha King everyone thought was dead. Until next time, my dreamers, may your impossible loves be real, your patience be rewarded, your mockery turn to triumph, and your nutcrackers become kings. This is Luna, signing off. Sweet dreams, beautiful souls.